Which of the following was a positive consequence of the canal shown on the map? A. Farmers in the Midwest could ship goods by waters to city in the Northeast. B. Farmers west of the Appalachian Mountains could more easily send their goods down the Mississippi River.
Mike Shervino, please
C.
come to the
United
counseling
States
office.
was able to establish its naval supremacy in the Great Lakes. Or D. Iroquois tribes were able to resettle more easily in Canada. Number 2. How did technology contribute to the problem identified in the excerpt? A. Railroads brought settlers who taught the American Indians to farm. B. American Indians faced harsh conditions working in new factories. C. Miners used American Indians to help excavate minerals from mines. D. Railroads brought settlers who pushed American Indians off the land. Number 3. The numbers do not match, so this is number 3. Which best completes the diagram above? A. Relied on the use of steam power. B. Reduced the size of the workforce. C. Increased the ease of communication. Or D. Found more in the South than the North. Number 4. Which leader most actively supported the demand expressed in this petition to Congress? A. Abraham Lincoln. B. Stonewall Jackson. C. Harriet Tubman. Or D. Susan B. Anthony. Number 5. Which of these contributed to the movement represented by the newspaper? A. Protestant preachers had denounced the institution of slavery as a sin. B. African-born slaves rebelled and overcame their owners on several southern plantations. C. The liberation of the Africans on the ship Amistad revealed the evils of the slave trade. D. Economic changes made slavery less profitable for southern slave owners. Number 6. Which of the following individuals most promoted the abolitionist movement? A. John C. Calhoun. B. William Blackstone. C. President Andrew Jackson. D. Frederick Douglass. Number 7. Which of these was an impact of the religious movement shown above? A. Reformers challenged slavery, drunkenness, and other social problems. B. More Americans felt to resist the tyrannical acts of the British Parliament. C. Several states established their own state religions. Or D. Rural areas in the South introduced better forms of lighting. Number 8. In 1840s, a meeting took place at Seneca Falls, New York, that made an important contribution to American society. What was the focus of that meeting? A. Women's rights. B. States' rights. C. Start of labor unions. D. Prison reforms. Number 9. The temperance movement was aimed at ending A. Abuses associated with slavery. B. The harsh punishments imposed on prisoners. C. The drinking of alcoholic beverages. Or D. The mistreatment of the mentally ill. Number 10. Based on the excerpt, what were the effects of the cotton gin on American society? A. It led to a rapid decline in the use of slaves as a source of labor in the South. B. Although it was a labor-saving device, it actually led to an expansion of slavery. C. Fewer slaves were needed after its invention since they no longer had to pick the sticky seeds from raw cotton by hand. D. Just as many slaves were needed to clean the cotton as previously because the cotton gins frequently broke down. Number 11. Abolitionists were an important interest group in the years before the Civil War. Which statement best summarizes their point of view? A. Popular sovereignty should determine whether or not slavery should be permitted in new territories. B. Slavery is immoral and should be prohibited throughout the United States. C. The Southern slaves are better treated than Northern factory workers because they are cared for by their owners in their old age. D. Women are the equals of men, and laws discriminating against them should be abolished. This is number 12. Based on the excerpt, what was the one way that industrialization changed life in the United States? A. factory workers often worked long hours at tedious tasks under unpleasant conditions. B. Factory workers enjoyed greater freedom than earlier farm laborers had possessed. C. Factory workers received good pay for their labor because of their special skills. Or D. Factory workers received a free education from their employers and other benefits. Number 13. Abigail Adams wrote this excerpt as a part of a letter to her husband John Adams. Based on this excerpt, with which of the following would she have most likely agreed?
Which one was in here?
No, I'll be out of here. Monroe Doctrine of 1823. B. Indian Labor Removal Act of 1830. C. Convention of Seneca Falls in 1848. D. Secession of South Carolina in 1860. Number 14. Which correctly describes the relationship of the data shown on these graphs? A. An increase in the slave population led to a sharp decline in cotton production. B. Increasing cotton production led to an increased demand for slave labor. C. Cotton production and the growth of the slave population in the United States were unrelated. D. The invention of the cotton gin in 1793 led to a decline in the demand for slave labor to clean raw cotton by hand. Number 15. What is Cartwright describing in this passage? A. The Salem witchcraft trials. B. The inauguration of Andrew Jackson. C. The Second Great Awakening. D. The Underground Railroad. Number 16. Which factor accounts for this trend above? A. The Second Great Awakening motivated people to join reform movements. B. Manifest Destiny inspired many people to become homesteaders. C. Jacksonian democracy allowed more people to vote in elections. D. The Industrial Revolution encouraged people to pursue jobs in cities. Number 17. According to this document, which constitutional right was denied women? A. Freedom of press. B. The right to bear arms. C. Freedom of speech. D. Freedom on religion. Number 18. What phrase best completes this diagram? A. Main characteristics of abolitionism. B. Aspects of the Second Great Awakening. C. The rise of sectionalism. D. Emergence of labor unions. Number 19. Which book is most closely associated with the abolitionist movement? A. Thomas Paine's Common Sense. B. Henry David Thoreau's On the Duty of Civil Disobedience. C. Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin. Or D. Horace Mann's A Few Thoughts for a Young Man. Number 20. In the early part of the 19th century, a group of the New York City-based artists emerged known as the Hudson River School. These artists are famous for their paintings of A. Scenes from urban life. D. Pioneers and American Indians. C. Romantic landscapes and wilderness scenes. Or D. Species of birds in their natural habitats. Make sure your name, date, and period are on the test, and that you have followed along properly and not answered any of the choices that are marked out on your copy.